Hi everyone, this is Aaron with Porter Bonsai, and today I'll be repotting my Japanese black pine. So the first thing I'll do is begin with taking it out of the pot. So I am going to bare root this tree. So I'll start with my root hook, start at the bottom, and just start loosening up the soil from the bottom. The soil is not very good. Probably should have repotted this sooner. The soil mix looks like a mix of bonsai soil and potting soil, which I do not recommend. Japanese black pine like a good draining soil. I bought this tree last year in the summertime at the Columbus annual bonsai show. I got one and my wife got one as well. The roots don't seem to be very happy either, so much needed repot. So the roots on these pines are pretty strong. You don't have to be too gentle with them. Seems like there's a decent amount of roots in here, but definitely could use better soil. Now the soil mix I'll be using with this tree is 4 parts akadama, 1 part pumice, 1 part perlite, and 1 part turfus. And that should be a good draining soil mix for this tree. It should be pretty happy with that soil mix. And I won't be pruning this tree at all this year. I'm just going to let it grow and keep it healthy, and then in the winter time I'll probably late winter next year I'll probably do some pruning and start the styling of this tree. But for now it's just a repotting for the health of the tree. And I will be bare rooting this tree. I bare root all my trees when I repot them. So one thing about buying bonsai trees from other people is that oftentimes repottings and root work gets neglected, so you usually end up with a mess of roots that will take years and many repottings to get sorted out. And that seems to be the case with this tree. probably only ever been slip potted, never taken the time to sort through the roots and get a good radial root base on it. Yeah, these roots are growing in all different types of directions. I'm going to clean up this mess. When I get back, we'll start root pruning. Okay, so I rinsed the roots off to try to get some more soil out and to keep them hydrated while I work on them. So right away, the first things I notice are this group of roots right here kind of tangled in with each other. I'm just going to start by pruning these away. I'm just gonna. Alright. Now I can comb through these roots a little easier, get a better idea of what I'm working with. So I won't be able to do all the root corrections that I'd like in this first repotting. But I should be able to get some of the major concerns taken care of. Up here I have roots kind of growing in a weird direction up near the base. So I'm going to remove this root at least. So when I plant the tree, I might plant it down to here just because I don't like how this inverse taper looks at all. So I'll probably plant it rather deep in the tree so I won't really have any nabari to show off, but I can start getting the roots in order. At least take care of the ones that are growing really crazy, like these ones are growing upwards. So I'll go ahead and remove those. This one's not growing very radial, so I'll remove that one. Same with this one. These are growing kind of upwards. This root is getting kind of thick and long, so I'm going to go ahead and shorten it. Like that. next move is to just shorten some of these roots. Try to get more of a flat bottom to the root base so it sits in the pot nicely. Go ahead and try to flatten out this root ball a little bit. I think that's looking better. You don't want to do too much work on these Japanese black pines. Or else they'll kind of struggle throughout the year. So I don't think I'm going to do much more to the tree. Made some corrections, so I think it's about time to just get it potted up and keep it healthy for the year. Maybe in another 2 or 3 years repot it again and do some more work on it. Alright, I'm going to go rinse the roots off one more time and then get to the repotting. So for this tree, I'm going to be repotting it in this plastic trainer. Give it room for the roots to grow and be able to plant it deep enough to get the soil line up to where I'd like it. So I went ahead and put a drainage screen in the bottom of the pot, and now I'll start with the base layer of soil. That seems pretty good. And this soil mix is 4 parts Akadama, 1 part pumice, 1 part perlite, and 1 part turfus, which should be a good draining soil for this tree. Now I'll take my chopstick and kind of work the soil into the root system a little bit, as much as I can. Alright. Alright, so now that the tree is, it's a little, it's actually more sturdy than I thought it was. But as the roots grow, I know get more stable in the pot. So here's what the tree looks like now that it is repotted. Now I'm going to give it a good thorough watering and put it back in the greenhouse so it's protected from the wind and doesn't get blown over. So I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes, let all the water drain out, let the soil soak up some water, and then I'll water it one last time. So now that I've repotted this into a fairly large pot, it'll probably be 2 to 3 years before I repot it again. So in that time I can work on the styling of the upper part of the tree so that when it goes into a bonsai pot, it'll be looking good. Now with this tree I might do a more of a literati style type tree. I don't have any in that style in the collection yet, and I think this tree already has that going for it. So I'll probably remove some of these lower branches and then break up this division of 3 right here and maybe do some wiring to give it a nice stylistic look. But for now it's just keeping the tree alive and healthy.